How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? This is episode 10 of the podcast Royale. We are the Super MetaBros. My name is Skelly. That's Sheepshifter. We're
What's
here to
up?
talk about gaming shit.
That's right. What's been up with you, man?
Not shit. I've been playing Mother 3. Mother
I figured that's what you
3.
were going to lead off with.
Gaming shit.
Hold
Yes,
on, let me
dude.
turn this down. Right. What's been up with you, man? All right, there we go. Now we're good.
Yeah, that game's been on my mind for a few days. I played during the weekends. That's when I used to play Earthbound, which Mother 3 is basically Earthbound 2. It's called Mother in Japan. Hasn't came over to the West. It's a Game Boy Advance game. I hacked my Nintendo just so I could put it on there. And my save states were fine. Thank you.
See, so you hacked your Nintendo just to put one game on there.
Yeah, well, I also put Donkey Kong Country 2, which I've almost beat, and Super Mario All-Stars.
You hacked it and you've only added 3 games.
Yeah.
And you know it's safe to do. Why haven't you added more?
Well, because I'm not going to worry about it until I beat Mother 3, and I'm going to find some other old RPG, probably the first Mother, which is an NES or Super Famicom game, actually. So that might be the next one. Just depends on what I'm in the mood for.
Were you surprised at how easy it was?
Yeah, I ran into a couple of problems. I think I was a result of the user, though. I'm not very. I mean, it just kind of.
Did you not follow the tutorial that I sent you?
No, that video was taken down.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he took it down, or someone took it down. I think it was him, honestly. I think
that sucks because it had a link to all the games.
I know. I was wanting to use that video, but alas, I could not. Did it involve a program called
Hackchi?
What is it? Yeah, Hackchi. Yep. I actually used I had to download the user developed or the community edition of Hackchi to get the Game Boy Advance shit on there.
Yeah, the video that I had all the resources and stuff on a wiki. Had how to install all the different emulators, what processes and stuff, and it was a lot more in depth. So I imagine it was probably a lot harder for you than it was for me because I had that quality tutorial. I don't know what you were going off of and what the quality was of that.
A lot of the problem was I think I was downloading viruses.
Oh, God.
Yeah, dude, after a while, I went to go look at these ROMs because I was like, why the fuck aren't these showing up? Why can't I get these games to show up on my library? So I went and looked at the ROM files, and they were some .exe file, and I was just like, oh, shit. Fuck that.
So it's hard to get good ROMs these days because you don't never know because they took down all the good ROM sites.
Yeah, I got those from cool ROMs. I've gotten ROMs from there before. And,
yeah. I think are they still up?
I mean, I downloaded viruses from them, so I don't know. What I assume are viruses. They might just be the game, just executable files that you don't need on an emulator. You just click them and they run. I don't know. I didn't want to risk it, so just deleted them. I've been loving Mother 3 though.
What's that about? I don't think I recall.
So the beginning you play as this child named Lucas. You get to name everyone that are like the main characters. And at the beginning you get to it asks you some questions and you can give the answers to them, and like sometime in the game, like whatever you answered will pop up. Like your favorite thing, which happens to be omelets. That was like the default thing. I just picked all the defaults. So omelets are like a thing in the world now, and his attack is called love because that was his other favorite thing.
His main magic attack. I was posting the link. Did you say omelets and love?
Yeah, omelets and love. Yes, the two things that every American should experience. Anyway, you start out playing as this child, and you have a brother. Y'all are at your grandpa's house, and y'all are about to leave. You'll have to go through the woods to leave to get home. And it pretty much, that scene ends when you're going through the woods with your mom. Then you take control of the father. I forget his name. Duster, I think. His name's Duster. Wears a cowboy hat. And it's just a little town, like with a community of people who like have their own roles, have their own personalities. Anyway, the mother ends up being killed because I'm not entirely sure what's going on. It's making it seem like aliens are invading, but I'm not sure if it's actually that. So like it starts with the mother getting killed and the husband losing it, and it just spirals into all this shit. I've played it with at least 5 different main characters so far with their own parties. Like there's a lot of it's very expansive the way the scenarios play out.
And
The game
what
is
console was this originally on? Super Nintendo or
Game Boy Advance.
this is a Game Boy Advance game?
Yeah, and it never came to the West. And I've seen.
Is it translated?
Yes, it's a fan translation. It's very well written too. But I've seen countless people just begging for Nintendo to release it. So I decided to give it a shot, and it's pretty fucking good. Reminds me a lot of Final Fantasy VII, where you're sort of getting into silly situations sometimes to try to progress through the story or obtain what you're trying to obtain. You know how you dress Cloud as a girl and sneak in there and
yeah, that's what came to mind the very first time when you said that. That's crazy. I might have to try that one out. I've got a Game Boy Advance emulator on my phone that I could just try it out on.
Dude, it's really good. I'm trying to think of the right word for the combat system. It's turn-based, but instead of like your main character on this side and the enemies on this side, it's just the enemy right in front of you. And it's just basic turn-based system. You're probably better off grinding before you go into certain areas, which is good. Not a lot of recent RPGs are like that nowadays. Like nowadays, it's just pretty straightforward. But
yeah, nowadays
you're gonna want to
usually
grind.
go straight through from the beginning to the end without any grinding. Grinding is optional. I don't necessarily care for that.
And the battle system, it's not a random encounter system like you'd find in Final Fantasy, where you just walk around and you fight. There are actual enemies on the screen that you can run into. You can run them like from behind and get a preliminary attack. It's pretty cool. I will say it's one of my top 10 all-time favorite games. I'm waiting to see until I beat it how I really feel, because I'm pretty sure I'm not even halfway through it. I played for like 5 or 6 hours.
So it just came out and you're already calling it a top 10 favorite game of all time?
Well, it's been out since
not just came out, but it's the first time you ever played it and you're already
sure? Oh, dude.
Wow.
It's fucking something, man. I don't think I've ever played an RPG like it. It's set in modern day, so they're like cars and televisions, and it's very like
well, it's not set in modern day. It's probably set in the 80s or 90s.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, exactly.
It's definitely not modern day.
Well, this was made in 2003, I think, but like it still has that, because the regular Earthbound was made in like 88 or 89 or something, and that's sort of the theme that it has. It sort of carries over. It's very cartoony, doesn't take itself too seriously, very funny.
Yeah, GBA, that's right. It wasn't. I was thinking Super Nintendo for some reason. Game Boy Advance they were still putting games out in the 2000s. So yeah, I forgot. I'm sorry.
I thought it was an SNES game at first when I was looking it up, and I couldn't find it. I had to search, and I was surprised to see it was a Game Boy Advance. The only thing I really played on Game Boy was Pokemon, to be honest.
Fire Emblem is pretty expansive in the Game Boy world. Final Fantasy Tactics, was always the Tactics Advance was really, really good, except for the 1 or 2 levels that were nearly impossible to beat unless you did very specific things. Or some walls that you could hit pretty easily in the Final Fantasy Tactics Advance. But there's quite a few good decent games to come out of there. But the only ones that really ring a bell to me are Fire Emblem and Tactics Advance, though. So you do have a point.
They have a Switch version of Fire Emblem. I know the really popular ones right now are on 3DS. I just gave my brother
Have
my
you ever played a
3DS.
Fire Emblem?
No, I haven't. They're more strategy oriented, though, aren't they?
They're tactics based. They're but they have a pretty good story if you want to follow the story, and it goes pretty deep. But it's a really fun system in that you get all these unique characters that all have their own story to tell, and they all have different stories that they can tell depending on who you have on your team. Like if you
No,
have
okay.
this person and this person, they'll have a special during this fight. They'll have a special dialogue that'll progress their story further, and each individual different pairings of different people produce different stories
Yeah.
because they interact with each other differently, and like some characters you can't even unlock unless you bring another character with you on that mission, and then
Okay.
you don't have any knowledge of it, unless you look it up in advance. There's no clues, there's no like bring this character along prerequisite. It's just if you happen to bring that person along, you can also unlock this other character. And the main thing is that if a character in your party dies, they're gone. No, you don't get them back.
Oh,
So there's the death is permanent, and
permadeath.
it has real weight and real impact. And you lose somebody, and you're like, man, I put a lot of work in on this character, and I
Damn.
really like this character. And you're like, you have to weigh the options of going back to a previous, because when I played it, I would make sure I had multiple save states because I wanted to be able to go
Yeah.
back if I lost somebody.
No
Um,
shit.
So it's really good in that aspect that death really means something, and it really makes you think about your every action because you lose somebody, and I mean, and they're gone. You put a lot of work. You put days or 60, 50, 40, 30 something hours into leveling this person up or putting a lot of effort into them. You become attached, and they die, and you lose them permanently. You start to consider, man, do I really want to keep going, even though I just got past a really hard part, or do I want to go back and do all this shit over again?
I was gonna say that's a very good way to build like player attachment to a character because you have to really cherish which characters you're gonna prioritize. It's not just like simple prioritization of these characters. Like, okay, this guy's strong, this guy has a lot of health. No, it like if you actually like these characters, you're gonna want to. It just adds more to the engagement of the player, the agency.
Absolutely, yeah.
Could you imagine losing some of the Final Fantasy VII cast organically like that? Like if other
Well,
games did that? Like
well, that
if you lost,
yeah. The only thing with those, they're such a small cast that like
yeah.
if you started losing them, you're gonna run out of people to even beat the game with.
Oh, so
Uh,
Fire Emblem has like 15, 20 people, something like
yeah,
that.
it's like I want to say like 18 to maybe 20.
Okay, all right. That sounds about like
Because
a game I'm playing right now.
some of them are really specific to be able to unlock. Like you've got to like go to this one little spot on this one part, and you have to bring this one person, and this one person has to be the person to talk to them. So you've got to
Mm,
get all the way across the map with this one person, and you don't even know it, unless
yeah.
you've gone through and been like, well, this is how I unlock this person, so I know all the steps to take. To have actually unlocked them organically was probably ridiculous to the odds of somebody having gone through it that many times or to have done it, even accidentally would just be crazy because, one character out of 20, and then that character has to be the person to confront them because a lot of times they're marked as an enemy. You have to go convert an enemy onto your
Mm,
side.
okay.
And you don't even know anybody else goes over there and it's a fight and you either kill them or they kill you or whatever. And you kill them and you don't get them.
Of course,
But
someone had to randomly do it though, right?
somebody had to figure it out.
Do they still put out those 200-page guidebooks for games?
They still sell them occasionally, like at Walmart and stuff, but nobody ever buys them anymore. There's not really, with the age of the internet. If anybody's still buying game guides, I got a problem. I mean, I've got stuff right here. See, Elder Scrolls Oblivion,
Yeah.
Game of the Year.
I've really only liked them for the art and You got all the maps and like all the artwork and shit like that.
I like to. I was a completionist on games like Skyrim and Fallout and stuff like that. So I really wanted to make sure that I didn't miss any important stuff, like bobbleheads and all the legendary weapons and all that kind of stuff. I had to make sure I got all that stuff.
Did you ever get all of the stones of Byzantium or whatever?
I actually did not. That was like there were like 50 of them, and
some of them were. I heard some were
the
bugged.
reward wasn't that great, Yeah, some were bugged. If you didn't get it, like you weren't going to get it.
Yeah.
So I was like, the reward for the completing it wasn't all that great either. Like I wasn't gonna put super grindy into something that wasn't gonna give a reward worth its weight. Like the whole near route quest.
Oh god, yeah.
I never did that either.
Yeah.
So, but I did do a lot of the pretty grindy stuff.
I remember when I was playing I was on like the 6th or 7th Dragon Priest, and he wouldn't spawn. No matter what I did.
I had to. Anytime I played, I had to have all the houses. I've got to get all the houses. So there's that glitch where you couldn't get the wind helm or one of the houses if you didn't. And I unglitched it, so I just got started over. I'm like, well.
I wouldn't start it over.
I'm not gonna not get my house. Well, see, I hadn't gotten to that yet. I've probably replayed Skyrim at least like 8 times.
I've been having the urge to get it again on the Switch.
You can never. I mean, you can get tired of Skyrim, but you can always come back to it and start over, and it feels brand new.
I get tired of buying it.
Yeah, I can agree there.
It makes me feel like shit.
We recently just got our 10-year-old daughter on Skyrim, so.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, might be a little bit mature for her age, but I mean, we let her watch PG-13 movies, and I don't think it's much worse than a PG-13 movie.
No, it's very. It's very tempered. It's not like it's gory or anything.
Yeah, there's not really any cursing. There's not really. It's just there's killing. You can kill people, and I mean that's kind of.
But what game can't you kill people or kill things?
Yeah, but besides Nintendo games and stuff like that. So.
Yeah, besides Mario Tennis Aces.
It's better than her playing Grand Theft Auto. So there's 10-year-old girls doing that. So I don't think I'm failing as a parent yet.
While we're on the subject of RPGs, have you seen the new big JRPG coming to PS4, Dragon Quest XI?
No, I have not seen that.
Actually, it looks pretty good. It's gotten pretty good reactions from the people who got early copies. I watched a 20-minute gameplay demo. It's a great-looking game. It's going to be one of those 50-hour JRPGs. So, I mean, I still haven't fucking beat Persona 5. I got like 98 hours into that game. That game is supposedly 110 hours long, like the story itself. Like without the grinding. You're just doing the story, 110 hours. I'm on the hour 95 or 98 or something.
See, and you're still playing it?
No, I haven't played it since, it came out February of last year. It came out right after Horizon Zero Dawn. I bought Horizon Zero Dawn brand new. I played for like 10 hours. Persona 5 came out. Not that brand new. I still haven't beat Horizon Zero Dawn. I played Persona 5 for about 2 or 3 months, though, and I put it down. Just too much. It's a good game, though. It's pretty decent. One of the good JRPGs. PlayStation 4 exclusives. Dragon Quest, though. Dragon Quest XI looks pretty interesting. Just a typical JRPG. It's turn-based, but it's turn-based in a way where you can toggle this mode where you can move your characters around the 3D space. It's a little like Chrono Trigger in that sense, I guess. Except for you couldn't really choose in Chrono Trigger. It just sort of placed you at. You should look it up. It has Akira Toriyama art style, like all the creature designs, character designs, and shit like that. All looks Dragon Ball.
That's
so
cool.
If you're a Dragon Ball fan, if you like Akira Toriyama shit, definitely interesting. I might get it eventually.
So, see, Street said, did you play Battlefield 5 yet?
Yeah, I played beta. To be honest, it wasn't. It was all right. It was fine. It's a beta. I don't know. I feel like I should reserve my judgments for when the game comes out. I'm not going to pre-order it now.
You're not going to pre-order it?
Nope. I was going to. No, I'm not.
So it's not good enough to have made you want to pre-order?
No, I just feel like it's going to have too many problems when it comes out. There are some performance issues. There were issues where I couldn't switch my weapons. There was a lot of sound issues. You couldn't hear people shooting 10 feet away from you. It's hard to pinpoint footstep, location, all that shit. There's just, I mean, and it's a beta. Granted, there's going to be a lot of bugs. Just hope there's a lot of bugs though, and I hope they can get it ironed out by launch. They should have delayed it to like February or something.
Was it that bad? The bugs?
There was a lot of them. There's a lot more than I've ever experienced in a Battlefield beta, other than 3. Battlefield 3's beta was fucking horrendous. You were falling through the ground and all this shit. But that was the first iteration of the recent Frostbite engine.
Well, how was Battlefield 3 compared to its beta?
Oh, Battlefield 3 is fine.
So compared to the beta, there was a big disparity.
So this is what happened with Battlefield 4. When Battlefield 4's beta came out, it was tons of fun. Like, people absolutely loved it. I just noticed my shit was all dark. People loved it. Like, everything was snappy.
That looked at by a doctor.
Yeah, it's not something I want to discuss on air.
Oh, well, I'm saying your shit's all dark. That's probably a problem.
It could be.
Anyway, you were saying?
Yes, well, people enjoyed the beta. The game came out. It's a complete mess. People were dying around corners. Just a lot of shit was happening that shouldn't have happened. Like, stuff happening on screen wasn't happening on the servers. There's just a lot of problems. It took 2 years to fix that game, which is now one of the most snappiest, has the tightest netcode. Like, the bullet detection, the hitboxes, everything are just spot on. The animations, like, they really put a lot of love into that game, which they could have turned around and made the next Battlefield the year afterwards. But they stuck by it for 2 years. More than 2 years. They stuck by it for like 4 years. 3 or 4 years. And man, it's a good game. For its scale, for as much as what's going on, like in one single match where you have tanks, jeeps, jets, helicopters, 64 players all shooting at each other, like all this shit happening on the server, all these calculations, for all that going on, it's really fucking good. Just the way they have just the way everything works on a network standpoint, and that transferred over pretty well to Battlefield 1. Just worried, man. They've never had this problem with these iterations of Battlefield that have been more recent, solely because of Battlefield 4. That was pretty much, that spearheaded all of that shit, was because the community was pissed off that their game was running in a unacceptable fucking way. So they fixed that shit, and it's just disappointing because I thought that, I don't know, Battlefield 5 would be a lot. I mean, it's good, it's fine. There's just a lot of technical problems with it. I just wish that all of this shit would have been ironed out before they released the beta.
What technical problems specifically are you encountering?
The image quality was shitty. Like, the game had to have been running at close to 720p on a regular PlayStation 4. I was getting performance problems. It was dipping probably close to 45, probably in the 30s sometimes. Rubber banding issues. I couldn't switch my weapons at certain points. I couldn't switch my items, my equipment, any of that shit. I don't know, man. That
That's
I
pretty
mean, I've
rough.
never experienced that sort of frustration in a Battlefield game. It's always just been the network. It's never been the inputs. I mean, Battlefield 3 had input lag, but I didn't even notice that it was there for the first 2 years
Was
until
that
it
day
got pointed
one?
out.
How much have you tried to play it? Was that day one, or is that a continual thing? You tried it multiple times. Maybe
I played for
they've
2 days.
patched that stuff already. Okay, so it's a pretty
Yeah.
fair run,
I,
I say.
I was hoping for a patch for the beta, but normally developers don't do patches when it comes to just a beta or an alpha or something. Sometimes they will, but and I was
Okay.
counting on it, but it just never happened. So we'll see what happens. It comes out in November instead of October now, so I think they should delay it till at least January or February.
Black Ops Battle Royale is not bad, you say? Well, is it? Have you tried it, Kelly?
Yeah, I played it today actually. My kiddo Blake, he game shared one of his friends. It's gonna be fucking good. I might
Is
pre-order
it?
Black
So
Ops 4.
really, it's gonna be that good.
Yes, I could see myself really getting into that. Because it's Call of Duty, man. Like Call of Duty, they are known for having the best first-person controls. Like they're snappy, quick, arcadey. Like you can just pick up, know what the fuck you're doing, and go. Battlefield, it's a little more clunky. I think it's because it's more skill based or
So you can
some
play the
shit.
Black Ops 4 Battle Royale for free, the
You have to
beta.
pre-order it.
Oh, you have to pre-order to play the Battle Royale. So you did pre-order it.
No, Kiddo Blake pre-ordered it.
Oh, okay.
No, no,
And game shared it
yeah,
to you.
he game shared it with his friend because his friend pre-ordered it. That's my bad.
Oh,
Um, I might pre-order it though. I'm thinking about it. I suspect they're gonna on the very last day of the beta, they're gonna open it to everyone and open it for an extra day. They usually do that.
yeah,
So
but I don't want to just play for it. It'd take well, not half a day. It takes a good hour to download it.
yeah, Battlefield 5 beta was like 14 gigs, so it's probably gonna be around the same.
No, then that won't take that long. But still, if it's on a work day for me, then I'm like, well, I'm not gonna get to play that because a work day I don't have time for games. I work half the day and then I sleep the other half, and then that's it.
Yeah, I don't know why the fuck they released it on a Monday.
I could
Like
do
it,
Monday. Monday would be great for me because I'm off on Mondays. But
yeah, but all the
you know,
kids are in school and shit, man. Like you wanna open the beta on a Friday so everyone can come home and play that shit all weekend.
true.
I don't know. Like I said, they might extend it because I think it actually goes for about a week or something.
That's cool.
So it's really good though. It's very snappy. Map looks really fun. There's a lot of variety in the elevation. Uh,
Yeah, I heard
if you
there's like
notice,
an all destroyed up version of Nuketown, and there's like some versions of some classic map locations from older Call of Duties. There's a zombie mode, I heard. Or
yeah,
there's
there's
areas that,
zombies that pop up randomly. There's also
yeah.
Easter eggs in the map that you can activate. I don't know about you, but I was a very big fan of the original Black Ops zombies Easter eggs. Like those are really fun to
Oh
do.
yeah,
Um,
exactly.
just
Yeah, I got you. That's interesting. So there's a lot of stuff. It's just you got to wonder if they're gonna go the what kind of route they're going to go to continue to make money off of the battle royale to keep players interested in coming back because that's the key to success for Fortnite.
what
Is
can they
keep
do
changing the
though? They're a
maps up and
$60 game. What are they going to do? They can't do the same thing Fortnite does. They're a $60 game.
I know they're not going to come out for. I know that's the difference is the price, but they're going to
But
have
that,
to keep. They're going to make money off the sales of the game. That's understandable,
yeah,
but they've got to keep. They're going to have to come out with something to keep people interested in the battle royale mode.
I feel like they're
Uh,
going to try to do what Fortnite does though, and they can't. They're going to fuck it up if they try it.
what do you mean? What Fortnite does? Talking about skins and stuff.
No, the season passes. $10 every
What's
three
the?
months or something like that.
Well, yeah, but there's, yeah, that can definitely fuck it up. But you still have the pretty base version, but you've already paid money. That kind of
Yeah, you've
would
already paid.
suck.
Yeah,
Already
that
paid
was the only reason
$60.
I said that. I'm just thinking that they're gonna try to do what Fortnite does. They can't get away with doing that.
Well, no, they could try to do different seasons. Just not, they could have a season pass even as a VIP type deal. Give me just a second. I got somebody knocking.
All right. Don't let them do this to you, gamers out there. They're trying to get all your money. You don't need to let them get all your money. Save your money. Spend it frugally. Be frugal with your money.
Damn neighborhood children's.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah.
Anyway, another thing about that beta, though, man, like the Blackout beta, Battle Royale, my God, I think the dude had to have had a shield or something, or armor, because I put like 15 bullets into his ass. And he turned around and just shot me the fuck down.
Really?
Yeah.
Maybe it's already getting hacked.
There's this other part of the map, dude. It's like this skyscraper complex place, and there's an elevator you can take all the way up to the top, and there's like whole floors at the top. There's like 2 floors at the top and like maybe a floor or 2 at the bottom. And oh my God, it looks so good. You can find the grappling hook around so you can just grapple up the building. And man, that's what gets me about PUBG though, man. Like this is a much better version of PUBG. PUBG's good. PUBG's great.
Well, you got to understand, PUBG doesn't have the resources that
exactly. It just doesn't play as well. And that's what I've been waiting on, man. I've been saying, like, once a big fucking world-class studio gets a hold of the Battle Royale mode, they're going to fucking change the game. People are sick of Battle Royale, but, man, they're just they're in their infancy right now.
Yeah, they're only going to get better and more creative. Competition definitely breeds better products. So I think the more competition we have in the Battle Royale genre, the better it's going to be. Even though I'm not particularly skilled or, necessarily interested in the Battle Royale genre, I do enjoy Fortnite. I've even kind of given up on it because I do see now it's really a cash grab, especially when they put the things that I were considering rare and I had pride in my skins. They just started throwing them up in there willy nilly.
Oh, Blake came in there complaining about that. What suit was it?
The power cord.
Okay, yeah, it's in there
probably
bitching about that.
Yeah, because I've been pretty proud that I had that for a long time, and they just threw it up there in the shop. So now everybody's running around with the one rare skin that I had. But even still, I'm so not good at Fortnite. I have gotten a lot better. I'm probably around at least a 1-1-0 kill death ratio now, which isn't bad on Fortnite. But my stats, because I started off so terrible and I just never really gave any thought to improving. Like my actual stats are like I have like a 0.27 kill death ratio right now. So I mean it's pretty gruesome to look at. But I do understand that that's where a lot the shooter type game is probably going towards, and it makes sense because that's closer to a real war than a team deathmatch type thing, which was the pretty much the go-to for everybody's team deathmatch, where you got a whole bunch of people here and a whole bunch of people there, but it's a small scale war. The 100 versus 100, the battle royale. It's not necessarily like a war, but like 50 versus 50 would be. But
it's super competitive.
It is, and the squads part is really fun. It's more fun with friends than it is solo to me. I guess unless you're maybe a streamer. They increased the player cap. It's not 80, so I guess the player cap went up on.
Wait, it went up? Oh shit!
But even 80 is still fun,
Oh yeah, no 80s. There's nothing wrong with 80. I did notice, however, that some of the matches were a little slow. I don't think the map is too big to facilitate only 80 people. So if they could bump it up to 100, I think that would be their sweet spot. It would be
okay. Yeah, the map's too big. I see what you're saying. That it takes too long to find each other.
yeah. That's
So
the problem
yeah,
PUBG has with one of its maps. Its desert map. It's just way too fucking big. Like you'll be just sitting there.
yeah. I don't want to play a game for 30 minutes unless it's that good and interesting. I don't want to be just running across the map for 30 minutes.
So something funny happened today. Blake has been playing Fortnite. Like that's his battle royale. Like I don't think he's really ever gotten to any other battle royales except for PUBG Mobile when me and him played for a few days, which I'm getting back into by the way. New maps releasing tomorrow. Anyway, he's been playing Black Ops battle royale today. He comes in there, starts bitching about they need to do something about that last circle because all people do is they hug the edge of the last circle. I'm like, yeah, Blake, that's how battle royales usually go. And then I thought about it, and I was like, you know what, you little shit, you're just too used to building shit. Like that's the
Oh
only reason
yeah,
you're not used to it because you're playing fucking Fortnite. You keep building shit. Like that's not the way it's gonna go in this one, buddy.
yeah. You can't build. That's
You
good. That's the primary difference between those two. I do think that they've definitely got to make it faster paced, and they've got to keep it interesting. They've got to keep. They're gonna have to keep doing updates. They're gonna have to do updates regularly, and I don't know if it's necessarily skins or maybe like Street was saying camos or guns or something. But they're gonna have to change it up on a monthly basis. I would think. Temporary game modes like Fortnite does. Change the guns up, give them like rocket launchers. Every once in a while. At
yeah.
and at intervals, change up stuff, make things more powerful than they were. Nerf stuff occasionally. They've got to stay on top of it and listen to the player base. That's where Epic really, really succeeds. You would think that it's in
Mm-hmm.
all the skins and stuff, but if they were really, really if the skins, they could have better skins. They could have some really out there crazy stuff and they would be awesome. You could have people wandering around there as whatever. And if you think about licensing, oh my God, they had that Thanos mode for a little while, but if they could get licensing for like Marvel superheroes or DC superheroes or,
Just like they did with Thanos.
yeah, anything like that. Uh, Good Lord, the money they can make. But that's where Call of Duty is really going to have to. They're going to make plenty of money just off the sales of the game anyway, and that's going to make a profit. But if they want to realize that where the real money is keeping people on that game mode and giving them a reason to stay interested and giving them something to buy that's cosmetic that people want. But what's cosmetic on a realistic game that people could want? That's the hard part.
Yeah, without like compromising the
integrity and the looks of the game.
Yeah, exactly.
Without making it feel out of place. You don't want, a giant pink bear running around in fucking Call of Duty. That's just going to take away from the realism and the fun. So, what could you have that would be realistic and still be okay? And so, what I would think would be like maybe pop culture icons or celebrity real people. Maybe you can be uh, a character from a war movie or something like that. Rambo. Yeah. You could be Rambo, or you could be the Arnold Schwarzenegger from Predator. You could be these nostalgic characters who are war type characters anyway.
Yeah.
That could be one thing. Like GoldenEye. How it had like guys in tuxedos. They're running around on the map. You can have like villains and stuff like that. But I don't think you could necessarily go like the super, crazy route with like superheroes and stuff and people in costumes and stuff like that. But I think you could definitely go somewhere with it and have things that people would want to pay money for.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I'm of two minds on it, I think. I agree that there has to be a degree of not necessarily realism, but just something that won't totally just break the nature of the game. Like, I mean, I could even see like people just running around in fucking just tuxedos, like straight up tuxedos, just murking people. It's just
Exactly.
a,
That could be fun.
yeah, it's just a vanity item.
Yes. See, the reason, like Street says, if the game had no changes, only new cosmetics, it'll get boring. I'm saying that it needs the cosmetics to keep selling, to keep making money, or they're not gonna want to update. If they're not making money off of it, they're not gonna want to keep it going as much. If they're
Oh
making
yeah,
a shitload of money off of the cosmetics, then they're gonna be like, well, let's keep developing this and making it as good as possible so
yeah.
that we can continue raking in this free fucking cash. Because that's all Fortnite is doing is just taking one artist's work and just making millions off of it. It probably takes that guy a half an hour to 8 hours at most to design one of those characters,
Oh
and
yeah.
you're off to the races, bro. And like the investment to return on a character skin has got to be just astronomical.
No
So I
shit.
mean, if you can find a way to capitalize on that in Call of Duty, and then that would lead the developers to develop the battle royale mode to be interesting and to keep it constantly fresh. That's what I worry about with Call of Duty is that the battle royale mode is going to be fun for a little while, but it's going to eventually be stale.
I'm not. I don't know about that, man. Solely because it's Call of Duty. It plays so well. Like it, you could just, like I said, it's buttery smooth. You can just pick it up and just fucking go,
I
and it
know,
feels
but
so great.
check this out. Fortnite plays pretty well for what it is.
It
It's
plays fine.
pretty, yeah.
Nothing
I mean,
touches Call of Duty though. They're the flagship.
exactly. I understand that, but people start getting tired of Fortnite towards the end of the seasons. They're like, oh, it's getting old. I'm tired of this season. The next season, I'm going to quit until the next season comes out. And the next season comes out and everybody comes back. That's
Yeah,
what keeps people going to Fortnite is that there's going to be something interesting happening. That's what Call of Duty could do. They could have a different storyline every season. It could go from maybe modern to maybe Vietnam to maybe
mm,
World War II, different time periods. I think that could be how they do it. And even maybe one season, it might piss people off, but they have like a futuristic a theme, like fucking Call of Duty in space. It could get crazy, because that would be, and then you always know that it's going to go back. It's not a permanent change or something like that. Maybe next season it'll go to a foreign war,
yeah.
something like that, the French and Indian War or something like that. You never know.
Do you remember the Easter eggs on the old Black Ops Zombies maps?
Yeah,
Like those really just sort of, they're not really complicated. They're just sort of intricate. You
yeah,
just gotta do certain things.
you had to do these multiple little. It's like a Rube Goldberg thing. You had to knock this one thing, start this one little part.
That's a great way of putting it. I feel like they should do that every season. Have the next part of the Easter egg. Like you're working your way up to something. Like sort of the way with how they nuked what's it called in Fortnite. You're working your way to this event.
Yeah.
I feel like that would be fucking awesome. But it's up to the community to find it. Don't put it in the patch notes. Don't post it up everywhere on the fucking message board saying, "Oh, find this switch. You press it and something will happen." No, let the fucking community find it. That's the best way to do it.
Street
Like
says the
put a
battle
teddy
royale
bear
mode on
somewhere.
the battle royale mode on Call of Duty is there a way to tell which guns are better? Is there a rarity system? But I think it's that they're all just the guns that they are. I don't think any of them are. I don't know. Are they upgraded or how do you get
Uh,
upgraded weapons? Can you upgrade them, or is there a rarity system like this, a base gun or a fully decked out gun with like attachments and stuff? Because that
I'm
is
not
an
sure.
interesting question. I wonder. Maybe it's not even implemented yet because this is beta. Maybe they're going to implement that later on. Or Maybe they don't know.
Yeah, I
I
haven't
think
played
right
enough
now it's
to.
just. I think right now it's just base weapons. The gun is what the gun is. If you're good with that gun, then so be
Exactly.
it. But yeah, if you don't get the gun that you want, you're probably not going to be as effective unless you're just a jack of all trades and can use any gun you get.
Yeah, which could be a shotgun, rifle, sniper, pistol, whatever.
Yeah,
Um,
so I think that's how that works. I think anyway.
yeah, you just find random shit laying on the ground, sort of like a PUBG, I guess. There might be a rarity system for certain types of guns. Uh, I think it's too early to say right now. For me, anyway.
Yeah.
Man, fucking Battlefield, though, man, it still disappoints me. I want that game to succeed. I want it to succeed, but no one else does. Everyone's tired of all the SJW cucks.
He said some guns can be found fully loaded with attachments, but you can also just find attachments around. So you can start with a base gun and then find the attachments for it. So okay, that's how that works.
Oh, dude, there's also the weapon box from the zombies mode. You can find that on the map.
Ah, okay. Weapons
Uh,
boxes, so yeah.
yeah, Blake got the ray gun yesterday,
Oh
or no,
yeah, yeah.
someone got the ray gun. We were
That's gotta
watching a
be
stream.
that's gotta be fun.
Yeah, yeah, it's gonna be
So
fucking cool.
that seems like it's got quite a few interesting things. I'm intrigued to see how they develop it. I got Like I said, I've got too many pre-orders under my belt right now to order another game. I
Yeah,
think they overloaded the month of October. Too many big titles coming out at one time, and I think that's going to split everybody's money. A lot of people are going to have already spent their allowance of game money on Spider-Man.
yeah,
It's
you're,
it's
you're
the best-selling superhero game of all time up to this point.
probably the best quality, honestly.
Yeah.
I know Arkham's good. I never really got into Arkham, but man, this just looks like it's on a whole new level. Because even the
Yeah.
Arkham for PS4 and Xbox One didn't run well. It had a lot of problems when it came out, so I think that sort of sullied its name. I don't think he really got that great reviews, but
And I
I'm
did
glad to see the
notice
Spider-Man's doing well.
Yeah, I did notice that this month, Destiny 2 and another one, another pretty decent title, but Destiny 2 was one of the free games for PlayStation
That
Plus that was
fucking free. It's a big
for
game.
free. I've never even played it, but I've got a shirt, so I figured I'd throw that on because I knew that was
Oh
going to be
damn!
relevant. Got my
I,
Destiny shirt on.
I didn't even realize it.
Yeah, I've never actually played the game. I've heard a lot about it, but
Try
I'm
it.
interested to try to give it a shot. I did download it. I still haven't played it. I downloaded it the first day it was available, but my schedule is just crazy right now. I need a vacation.
I know what
That's
you
what I
mean.
need.
I'm ready to go
But
to Vegas. Ready to
I
get the fuck out of
hear
here.
you. Sounds like it'll be fun. But here, I'm gonna give it a shot someday.
Yeah,
Uh,
dude. Fucking, it's free. I
yeah.
recommend trying it out. I'm not a big fan of Destiny. They say the new DLC made it a lot better than what it initially was, but try it
Well, see,
out.
that's one thing. I got to like the first part to want to buy the next part. I mean, even though I do get the first part for free, I gotta I gotta see if I like that first. But I mean, just shooters in general just aren't my kind of deal. And
It's. I feel like this is a little more than the shooter though, like because you can pick your class, and each class has their own abilities, magic abilities or otherwise, and you can level those up and upgrade those, and it's a little different. I mean, it's primarily a shooter, but it's not your typical shooter.
I don't. One thing I know that I don't care for is the character design, like robot faces. I don't really care for that. I think it'd be cooler if we had, if it were more personality to the
You can
character
be
designs.
you can be human. I don't think there aren't a whole lot of sliders. I don't think as far as the character creation goes. Like you can't change your jaw width or nose length or anything like that. You just choose like a out of a few select preset.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
even, how like Overwatch has the, characters with personality is kind of what I was trying to
Yes.
get at. There's no personality to their things like that. But it is what it is. I think I can try to get behind it.
I
I'll see
feel
what's up with it.
I feel the same way though. I know what you mean. The only person that does have personality, and he's actually pretty popular among the fans, is Cade Six. Man, I remember when the first Destiny came out. Peter Dinklage voiced the little robot. Everyone hated it.
Really?
Well, not everyone. It was just a big thing where like just people didn't think he was very good. It just didn't really fit. And then Noah North, Nathan Drake came in and redid the voices.
Oh man, that sucks. I like Peter Dinklage.
Yeah, I mean, it really wasn't that great. It just sounded like Peter Dinklage just talking like a robot, which I mean,
Wow.
I guess it's fine, but I don't know. Noah North did a much better job. He sort of spruced it up a little bit, made him more lively and I guess flamboyant or something. I don't know. That's Destiny though. I recommend it, man. It's
I'll
all
give it a
right.
shot.
The strikes are really fun.
Okay. Have we got anything else we've got to cover before we cut it? I'll probably have to go here in just a little bit, about the next 6 or 7 minutes. We got anything else we need to run through real quick?
No, man, I think we're good. Go watch your wrestling. There will be no episode next week, though.
Yeah, no episode next week. This guy's going to Vegas, and I guess what happens there stays there, right?
Unless I win a lot of money, that's coming.
And you're bringing that back with you.
Yeah,
huh?
I'm not leaving that there. Nothing. Yeah.
I don't know who is watching right now. We had 5 people in here at one point.
We've had it's been constant too. We've had like 4 people in here.
Yeah, I had more so than. Oh yeah, Zane. That's my buddy Dusty was in here, so that's cool. Appreciate the support though. I don't know where everybody's at, but next week no show, and week after that we'll try to pick it back up as usual, either Monday or Tuesday or whenever we find the time. What you got, Kelly?
I'm just going to end it off by saying this guy said he's going to try to watch My Hero Academia so that we can talk about it in 2 weeks. So
I'm going to watch at least 3 episodes a week, so I should have like 6 episodes down. I have to start season 2 because I think I didn't finish. I finished season 1, but I didn't start season 2. But I'll try to get that far at least, and we can discuss that.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Y'all should check it out.